What is? Oh, yeah. All right. Where is my phone at? We got this AMA starting very soon. Let me grab my phone. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Let me do this real quick. All right, so we're good. We're gonna join this AMA chat. They should not be starting yet. Hopefully they're not.
Everybody can pop in if they need to. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
We'll
mute
give it a
myself.
few more minutes to let a,
Oh,
or
not yet.
a few more seconds for people to fill the room.
All right, all right.
Looks like
Heard
we've
that.
got about 65 participants, but let's give it just a few more minutes or seconds to see if anybody else is going to join.
All
I hope
right.
you are all having a wonderful Sunday morning. It looks like it's cold most everywhere.
Mostly.
Super cold. I'm in Florida and it's like 25 degrees.
That's crazy because I mean, I know like
It
the
is.
panhandle gets really cold, but yeah, I hear it like everybody's like, it's so cold. And
All right,
a bunch
there
of
we
people are
go.
getting snow, and we
Oh,
may
right.
get snow here today in Texas, so that's or tonight, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I just turned on my heater, so like my house is actually ice cold, so I'm kind of like shivering at the same time.
Probably doesn't get much use there.
So with them talking, I'm gonna mute them. But so the videos. So Reflex token for those who are unaware, or a new token. If y'all want to be a part of it, they are private sellings very soon. My video cam, but let's get to it.
Introductions of the core team members and leadership. Um, Kind of a meet and greet. This is an opportunity for you to learn a little bit about them and hear from each one of them directly. After intros, I'll be asking the core
That's weird. I cannot hear anything. Okay. Is everybody muted? What I think I'm gonna do is leave and come back in. This is weird. Okay. That was weird.
rabbit hole, no pun intended, and
There we
started
go.
getting involved in various communities,
All
which
right.
is how I came across Reflex. Working with multiple communities, I saw several different styles of leadership. What drew me the most to Reflex is that when given advice, they listened and put those things into action, which shows me that they value the voices of the people in the community, which was really refreshing. I'm really excited to see where Reflex goes, and I love a really good mystery, so I can't wait to learn what the secret utility is, just like the rest of you guys. Next, I would like to introduce our Chief Communications Officer, Ray Sales. Ray, can you tell us about yourself, why you got into crypto, and why Reflex Finance?
So about 6 years ago, what drew me in was Bitcoin. Obviously, it was one of a kind. Launched, everyone was talking about it. Did a lot of research on it, and it just caught my eye in the whole industry overall. Kind of like Rabbit, then that drew me to other tokens that caught my interest, and obviously a whole different space because there's so many areas in crypto. Just like her, same thing with the positivity in the communities, helped them build it, trained people, guided people, pros and cons of what to do, what not to do. For Reflex, what caught my attention, and it's pretty much the same as Rabbit, was that when we talked to the CEO, the co-founder, they listened. If we gave them 30 ideas, they used 29 of the ideas, which is rare. Normally, they might even take one for a normal token, and they might choose your idea. So the big thing for me was that they listened. They're very positive, and they're open to anyone give an idea even from the community. If you guys have ideas, they love to take them, and they do take them in consideration. So just the openness of the core team, higher up, and that's kind of why I jumped on board with them.
Copying my answer is for shame.
Dude, it's honestly by far the big thing
It,
that draws everyone to a token is being
yes.
positive, and everyone listen. Everyone says they listen. As a token, as they launch, oh, we're listening. I'm not here to bash anyone, but they do listen, and that they follow through is the big thing for me, and that's what caught my attention. And when
Yeah.
they did it within the first week, that really, really caught my attention. They didn't even wait like 2 weeks. Oh, we'll get around to it. That first week, they put it in motion, and that shocked me, to be honest.
I think a lot of people want to feel like their voices are heard, and that they, as the community, are valued by the core team, because it kind of goes both ways. You want the community to value the core team, and then you want the core team to value the community. So I think that's kind of where we're both coming from, is that is what drew us in, that they value the community, they value their opinions and their ideas, because there's so many great ideas out in the community. So if we can put them into action, it'll make us great. Yes, exactly. So next we have our Chief Strategy Officer, Krip Fu. Can you tell us about yourself, how you got into crypto, and why Reflex Finance?
Yeah, thank you, Miss Rabbit. I am the Chief Strategy Officer, Krip Fu. A little bit about me. I served in the military with Miles back in 2003 to 2007. Just crazy to see how many veterans are on this team and part of this community and space. He and I met right after boot camp. We got attached to 3rd Battalion, 6 Marines, and we deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq, and I'm sure many of those stories will probably leak out. My role was the fiscal chief. I was in charge of contracting and procurement, and kind of led me down the path of finance. But at the end of my service, I knew the military just wasn't my thing. So got out, got my education, go Knights. And from there, I ended up starting my own wealth management and financial planning business. I personally manage a significant amount of traditional assets, and my firm manages nearly $1 billion in assets. I also do a lot of business consulting for small businesses and medical practices. And it's always been a passion of mine to help build businesses and help families find that financial success. And I've been doing that for the last 15 years. As for crypto, I started trading crypto at the peak of 2017. So definitely learned how ugly it can get very quickly. I perfectly timed that. But continue to invest, because I truly do believe in this space and what it can actually do for the everyday investor. I always tell people that crypto will lead to the greatest generational wealth transfer, and we're already starting to see that. It just takes research, a little bit of knowledge, and patience, which patience isn't typical for the average crypto investor. But crypto overall has definitely changed my life, especially this past year. And part of my happiness has been to pass that knowledge on and to help others learn and grow in this space. So I'm super excited about Reflex Finance and the innovations that are going to come out of this project. But most importantly, the team uh, behind this, and kind of what we're building together. So I'm on Twitter and Telegram. So if anybody needs help with anything, please do not hesitate to DM me. Thank you.
So you're a real crypto winter survivor. That's awesome.
Definitely.
And we can come to you for stories about Miles.
Many of them. Many of them.
Next is our COO, Miles. Miles, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, why you got into crypto, and why Reflex?
Yes, thank you. So, Brenton, let's keep the stories to a minimum, please. Yeah, so right off the bat, my name is Miles. I currently live in New Orleans, having a lot of fun here. Great city. I think my background is pretty well known to all our listeners at this point. I've spent over the last 20 years serving in the United States Marine Corps and the Department of Defense. Along the way, I've done a lot of very interesting things in a lot of unique places, and I've met a lot of great people along the way. So I'm very fortunate to have served with and come in contact with all the folks I have along the way. It's truly been a blessing. Um, why Reflex? I was not looking for this opportunity. It came to me. I guess you could say I was recruited for this position, and I think the position is a most suitable position for me. I trust Brenton and Ray immensely. These are people that I've known for quite a while, and I know that this project is something very special. So that's why Reflex, and I'll get more into myself a little later. Over.
I think it will be really special. Next, we have our co-founder, Ryan. Can you tell us about yourself, Ryan? Why you got into crypto and why Reflex?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan, and I'm the co-founder of Reflex Finance. Before I'm going to further introduce myself, I want to take a quick moment to show my personal gratitude to all of the team members. An enormous amount of work is constantly being done in the background, and everybody knows what is expected from them. What is even more important is that everyone is delivering quality work on time. Thank you all for this great work. Without you, we could have never achieved what we already did. Next up, the community. The growth that we have seen and the positivity we are receiving is unbelievable. We wanted to make sure that all feedback received from our community is collected and acted upon. Thank you all for the positivity and the understanding that we are creating a project that benefits not just the holders, but the entire industry. Now I'm going to talk a bit about myself. I have a degree in international business and have studied in Maastricht. Maastricht is located in the southern part of the Netherlands. After my degree, I started working in the finance department for an international business called Hydro that is doing business in the aluminium industry. After 1 year of working there, I was fortunate enough to receive an opportunity to be able to work with my great uncle, who is working as a freelance financial controller. Together, we have worked on several projects, and he taught me how to take on different projects and gave me very helpful insights in the business that he acquired due to his 30 plus years experience in the field. Now, my blockchain career started 4 years ago. I invested in long-term crypto projects and became more and more interested in the industry. Over time, I found some interesting projects, and I believed it was the vision of the core team members and how they were actually managing these projects that was leading these specific projects to the success. The projects that stand out to me the most are the reflection tokens. Receiving the stable passive income has been the goal for years, and this achievement is helping the crypto industry grow and mature. We want to make sure that we create a project that listens to the community, that is transparent and trusted. Creating the high quality utilities to increase volume over time is top priority while creating multiple income streams for our holders. Furthermore, I've been developing my trading skills for the past 3 years. Reading price action in crypto and forex markets have been profitable for me, and I really enjoy doing it. I am currently still trading, but my main priority is managing Reflex Finance with the core team. We are creating something special here, and we want to make sure that this project will break all the records and lead the community members to a higher level financially as well as socially. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. I agree. We are coming for all of those records. Next, we have our finally, we have our CEO, Neek. Welcome, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, thank you, Rabbit. It's great to have you all here. Like Rabbit said, I'm Nick, the CEO of Reflex Finance. First of all, I'm so impressed with that what we've already achieved as a team and a community. Personally, it's significant for me to see many people coming together with such excitement and positivity. The community and the Reflect Legion are truly what makes this project special. As you've noticed, the past few weeks, we've been very careful and thoughtful with whom we selected to be a part of this team. We have a special and talented group of individuals, all with diverse and different backgrounds, and we really do make a great team. A little about myself, I also live in the Netherlands, and I received a degree in commercial business. I studied in Amsterdam, but now I live more in the south of Holland, near Maastricht, where Ryan studied. I've worked for several independent startup companies, which was instrumental in gaining the right exposure and experience. And about 6 years ago, I started my own marketing agency, and I've managed that company for since its inception. I figured the next step in chapter for me would be to fulfill a dream and passion of mine, starting a cryptocurrency, which reward holders just by holding the token, particularly when you have a real and significant utility. I know this will change people's lives. I've witnessed firsthand and personally experienced failed projects because of poor leaderships, failed follow through, and honestly, I've been flat out scammed. A couple of core team members and I had a vision, and more importantly, we had the capability to do this and to do this right. So that's what we decided to do. I wanted to create something fair for everyone, and this is just the beginning. The thing that makes us special is that we listen to everyone in the community, just like Raymond already told. Listening and observing is one of my qualities. Every individual can bring their own talents to Reflex Finance. With that said, I wanted to thank you all for taking your time and joining us in this AMA. Before I hand this over to our COO, I want to tell you guys how lucky we are to have Miles serve and lead this team. From the moment I met him, we shared the same vision and excitement, and I know he's precisely the right person, the right leader, and the best man to lead this project. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn this over to our COO, Miles Tweedy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your leadership and mentorship. It's been both significant and profound and instrumental in the future of this project. Thank you. I don't have anything to add right now. Rabbit, over to you.
Okay, thank you guys for the great introductions all around. Really quick before we kick off the questions, we just wanted to take a second to thank all of our mods and admins because they are the ones that you guys see on the front line every day. We have Sam who's looking over Telegram. We have Chris and Harry who are our lead mods and Sam is looking over Reddit. Harry and Chris are lead mods over in Telegram along with Sam, Decentralized Block, Crypto Crusader, Charlie, Howdy Hodler, AD, Gilly, Crypto Paul, Crypto Dreams, William Wallace, the Ultimate Hype Man, and First Name. And then over in Discord, we have Frizz, Mucky, Marshall, Small Paul, Jamma, and then some overlap with some of the Telegram guys are over there as well. So if I missed anybody, I'm really, really sorry, but we are so thankful for our admin and mod team. They are on the front line every day answering questions and helping people. They are a positive light in the community and they work hard for us and we really appreciate everything that they do. If you guys ever have questions or concerns, definitely reach out to them. If they can't answer it, they will get them to us and we will get you an answer as quickly as possible. So after that, let's roll into the questions. Miles, how does your background make you the right person for the job to lead Reflex Finance?
Okay, so honestly, I think my background actually makes me uniquely qualified. I think it's important, as I previously stated, to understand what the role of the chief operating officer really is. And my view of it is to provide leadership and structure to the organization. Perhaps most importantly, I really believe it's my duty to foster the right kind of culture and growth within the team. I've always believed culture is everything. To me, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I'm a firm believer that if you can't establish and maintain the right culture and climate, it's all for naught.
Come on. You can give us a little more than that. What makes you the right guy for this job?
Okay. All right. So this really goes back to my military background, right? There's obviously an inherent degree of military discipline and accountability. Now, I've raised the point a couple times, and I want to raise it again publicly right now. I'm accountable to all of you, the community and my team alike, servant leadership, and I will always accept complete responsibility when someone needs to be held accountable. Now, along those lines, I feel like my experiences have put me in situations where my personal development and my professional judgment has truly been tested. Quite simply, there's no shortcuts, and not when lives are at stake, and frankly, not when people's hard-earned savings are at stake as well. and I'm never going to sacrifice the integrity of myself, my team, and this project for short-term gain. The key tenets and traits I've used to guide me as a Marine are really the same ones that I plan on carrying forward in this project. Over.
Okay. Next, can you explain what the ideal investor profile for Reflex looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in a word, diverse. All ages, races, backgrounds, cultures, religions. They're like me. They're like you. They see cryptocurrency is really the future, and if you're not taking advantage of passive income opportunities, you're missing out.
Right. If you're not earning money while you sleep, that's important. How did the core team decide on the tokenomics for Reflex?
Okay, so I'll admit right off the bat, I was not one of the architects of this token. And to be fair, I didn't come aboard the project until early January when the original white paper was done. The tokenomics were already created and established. But I say this to highlight the fact and articulate the point that it was the tokenomics itself and the utilities that were presented to me that really made this a project that I was very excited about. I love the stable 8% BUSD, and I thought the tax breakout was fair. I mean, to be able to receive the dividends regularly while understanding the importance of business cycles, I really thought that the distribution of taxes were precisely where they should be.
Yeah, they're very fair. Um, Next, what type of rewards can one expect from investing in Reflex?
Okay, so I kind of just talked about that. The rewards are obviously 8% reflections in BUSD until we
Oh,
transition to phase two, where it will be 10%. But I guess I kind of got ahead of myself on that last question, so
yeah,
that's on me.
it's okay. In terms of token distribution, can you give some transparency on the private sale? Like, how is it going to be conducted? Who are the investors? And what measures are in place to ensure they are aligned with the project?
Okay, so again, I want to be completely transparent. I was not part of the private sale. This was something that was concluded before I became a team member. I do not personally know any of the private sale investors. That said, the CEO and the co-founder, these are people in their personal life, co-workers, professional relationships, family and friends as well. And if you look at it through the right lens, the max buy was 3 trillion tokens, which isn't that crazy when the whitelist buyers have the opportunity to purchase 2 trillion. I can tell you that there is a contract with all private sale holders, a legal document that is quite binding. I've personally seen it and reviewed it, and I feel very comfortable with it. So the private sale holders are contractually obligated to not sell for the first 6 months. And again, to the community, I have seen this, I have reviewed this, and I feel very comfortable.
Awesome. Good to hear. I was just informed that I completely left out one of our mods, Crypto Fan. I'm really sorry. We love you. It wasn't on purpose. Next, what governance practices were enacted to ensure a fair pre-sale process? I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with the one before.
Well, I think this really speaks to more so of the whitelist spots, and Miss Rabbit, you can help me out with this as well. But I think it's been pretty well documented. The widget sweepstakes, the amount of videos that have been posted on Twitter has just been absolutely both comical and inspiring. The Discord competition, the Twitter competition, the Reddit competition. What am I forgetting? What am I missing?
We had people making incredible graphics, and there's some videos that came out that were sent to us that we are actually holding because they're that good to share like around launch day and stuff like that. There's so much that people have contributed um, to Reflex that is just above and beyond.
Yeah, and to be honest, with the community, my team has kind of got after me a little bit because I guess I got to stop giving them away. The community's just been so, the community's been so amazing. It's been hard, but we know there's 800 B&B hard cap, and I rather see as many people get in this as possible. I just know that this project is going to change lives.
For sure. Every day I'm in the chat, I always say that I really hope that we can change just one person's life, but hopefully a lot of people. What can you tell us about this secret utility, if anything? Dying people like myself want to know.
Yeah, so I'll be very direct on this. The secret utility was one of the things that was presented to me as a stipulation for me to lead this project and lead this team. Obviously, for me to do this and come with a sense of confidence that I have, I needed to have complete full sight picture of what this project's future really looks like. And I can't get into the specifics of the secret utility, but what I can tell all of our listeners and Reflex Legion is it's profound. And it's precisely what we need to be able to continue to sustain and carry forward past initial hype phase, past month 6, month 9. The long-term longevity at Reflex Finance is something that I'm very passionate about and very serious about. And it's the secret utility that really made me say, "Holy shit, I'm in."
Well, that's exciting because I know if you believe that it's that revolutionary, then that gives me hope that it's going to be awesome. Um, what, if any, exchanges are we looking at?
Okay, so I'm not sure how I can answer this. I want to be careful so I don't get yelled at when I get off the phone here. But what I can say is that we are in talks with exchanges that are ready to go. I can't name exchanges, but there are exchanges that we all know. There are exchanges that every listener on this call is familiar with, and we're ready to go and we're ready to start implementing very quickly. And so I want to again be completely transparent with everybody. We have an obligation to our investors. We have an obligation to our holders to roll things out systematically and methodically alike. And it doesn't do the proper service to our token to say, hey, this is going to happen day 1, this is going to happen day 3, this is going to happen day 7, this is going to happen day 11. What I can tell you all is there is going to be continued sustainment over the first 30 to 45 days where one thing after another is going to propel and project this project to the next level.
Okay. You said you would like to partner with other tokens in the space. Do you have any in mind or any that you've already reached out to?
Again, and just being completely transparent with you, I would personally love to work with, say, SafeMoon, just for example. And I say that because I respect John Crony, I respect their leadership, I respect the SafeMoon army, and I'm not trying to just name drop other tokens because I know Reflex Finance is important. But again, I just want to be honest. I want to be able to always say what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. I will tell you that, and you know this to be true. My number one goal, my number one vision, my number one passion is to build bridges within this community. I want to collaborate with other projects. I want to work with other projects. And that's not something that you see really done too much. Now, I'm not trying to imply that there's been any talks with SafeMoon because there's been none. There has been some conversations with some other projects, and I can't get into things too much, but from me to all of you, that was one of my key stipulations to join this team and to be a part of this project is how do we build bridges, how do we close gaps, and how do we work and collaborate with other tokens, because that is my number one goal, my number one desire.
That's kind of where I come from too in the crypto space, is that I'm all about like having positive community. There's so much toxicity in crypto as a whole. So if we can, bring people together, make this space like inclusive, that would be awesome. And SafeMoon is one of my first favorite tokens, so that would be awesome.
And again, I want to go back on that point. SafeMoon was the first real crypto token that caught my attention, and I respect the leadership. I want to be clear. I don't want to imply anything. We haven't had any talks with them. I mean,
right.
Ramatic is a great token. I respect their leadership. What Evergrow has been able to accomplish is absolutely significant and inspiring. So all of these tokens are tokens that I admire, that I respect, and I want to be able to build bridges wherever that is both beneficial and suitable for us and the fellow company alike.
Agree. Yes. All right. This one is kind of long-winded. Can you tell me, how do you plan to promote your project in different countries where English is not spoken well? Do you have a local community for them to better understand the project?
I can definitely answer this. However, I'm going to defer this to our Chief Communications Officer, Ray. I feel like this is in his lane a little bit. Ray, can you take this one, please?
Yes, no problem, Miles. So we have hired 2 marketing firms that are well versed throughout the world. They do have connections pretty much everywhere you can think of. When it is time and right when we determine that we can have the most positive mods that are bilingual, understand our mission, this will start to happen. We just don't want to, let's say open the room in Italian or Russian or anything like that, and then all of a sudden it goes haywire. So we are very picky, so to say, in who we pick as our mods, and we want everyone to have the same vision and share the same vision that we have. So short answer, it will happen. It's just when we feel like we have the right personnel to run those scenarios and are in sync with our core team.
Exactly. Yeah. We want when uh running Discord myself in the past, at a higher level, you're always scanning the chat for, people who are willing to help out, people who are positive, they are educated in the space, and then those are the people that you reach out to and say, "Hey, we've noticed you. You the way you act in the chat is aligned with the way that our values for this project. We'd love to have you on the team." So if that is something that is, you want to do, you have those skills and you want to be a mod, be active in the chat, show us what you've got, and we'll reach out to you and say, "Hey, we'd love to have you on our team." So the next question is, Miles, can you give us the launch details for 5 February?
Okay, I'm going to give you these details, and then Ray, I'm going to turn it over to you on this one as well, just to answer anything that you feel like needs to be captured. So as you all know, we hey Ray, mute your mic, please. Thank you. As you all know, pre-sale is 5 February at 1500. That's 3 p.m. UTC. Conversely, that's 8 a.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Central time, 7 a.m. Pacific time. So we will do the pre-sale. That's for the pink sale launch. Following that, within a 4-hour window, we will go live on PancakeSwap. Now, there's a number of reasons why we're not nailing it to a precise time, and I'll let Ray expand upon that. Part of it has to do with bot manipulation. Part of it has to do with, if I give a timeline to our holders, I want to meet it, and there's no reason why we should ever box ourselves, and there's no reason why I should tell the community, hey, 9 a.m. Central Time, 9:45 a.m. we'll be live on PancakeSwap. It's imperative that if I give a timeline, if I give a deadline, it is met, and that's something that I promise to always deliver to you. And if I don't deliver, that is solely on me and nobody else. So to be clear, 5 February, 3 p.m. 1500 UTC, 09 Central Time. Pink Sale will launch and go live, and then within a 4-hour window from there, we will be live on PancakeSwap. Now, to make sure the playing field is level, we will simultaneously, when we're live, we will simultaneously release a message on Twitter, Discord, Telegram, and I'll be live doing an AMA the moment we launch. So we will give you guys a heads up as much as we can. But Ray, can you expand on that a little bit further, please? Over.
Yeah, sure. I'll take it from here. So with recent launches the last 2 weeks, obviously a lot of people have seen bots and so on. And when you give the contract address out, obviously everyone knows our address. Bots are able to say buy quicker than a human finger. So with that, we do have certain things in action. I don't want go over too much because if someone's listening, I don't want to give it away. But when they do see liquidity, they can jump on it. But we are limiting certain things that do happen in blocks, which are frames per X amount of seconds for buys and sells. And with it being random, not count like a countdown, it limits that. Now will bots get in there? Who knows? Maybe 0.1%, if that. They may get lucky, but we're really not worried about that with the setup we do have. I do also want to touch on that. I know a lot of people always like, can we claim our tokens, before launch? Before launch, we want the volume. And I just want to be clear on this one, whole scenario is that if you followed like the last 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of tokens did allow people to claim, and I would say about 99% of them did have some issues with it. And what happens is if you claim beforehand, just to be clear, you have access to sell those tokens. And if you do sell those tokens, there's no liquidity transferred over yet. And it creates a massive, massive problem And that's where you see some issues that are having. So more than likely, to be clear, we are not going to have anyone claim because if say a bot somehow gets in and they hurry up and sell it before we transfer it, because we have to hand click buttons to transfer everything, and then you're by, you know, your the matrix handles it from there, let's say. And if that bot's quicker than our signal, it can screw a lot of things up. So we want to be as perfect on this launch as possible. We won't have any issues at all. So claiming would commence as well when we go live, just to be clear. So we have no issues at all.
So Ray, I just want to make sure that I understand you as well as our listeners. We're talking a difference of seconds, correct?
Correct. So people just have to be, they're going to have to be paying attention. You know, we are going, like you said, we're going to announce it everywhere. You know, if someone misses it, we're sorry, but you know, this is the way to do it to make it fair for everyone, that we do not have bots involved where they can, you know, change the price on us, buy, sell, high, low. We are trying to eliminate that because a lot of people stress that is a big issue on new tokens the first week or so.
And to be honest as well, again, to be clear, we're talking about a difference of seconds, but the reality is not everybody has a whitelist spot. And so we're trying to think about the regular average everyday investor as well. And we thought that the most important thing would be for us to have the liquidity in PancakeSwap and have investors be able to buy. And if the whitelist holders lose a few seconds on claiming, then so be it. But again, all of these decisions are being made with a lot of thought and integrity, and these are all to protect the launch, and they are all to protect the holders. The bot manipulations and attacks is a very real thing. So we're doing everything we can, and we're making the decisions that we feel is in the best interest of a safe and prosperous launch. Over.
Okay. Ray, you don't have anything else to add?
No, ma'am.
All right. Where do you see Reflex Finance in the next 1 to 2 years?
Okay, so because of the insight that I have and the direction that I know we're going to be headed, I can say I undoubtedly seeing us as a top project offering tokenomics. And this honestly, as I said, goes back to what we have planned. What we're going to do and announce in the first 30 days alone is going to propel us to levels that's truly life-changing. I mean, not to mention all of our own utilities, staking, voting platform, gaming scenarios, the utilities, the secret utilities specifically, the NFT platform, metaverse, gaming platform, social media influencing platform, and to be running on our own blockchain. So there's a lot of things that I see happening in the first 1 to 2 years, and I'm excited.
Did I do your blockchain?
Yes, you did. You did hear blockchain, but that let's push. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. The next question is: once the secret utility is live, does the team plan on creating a 3 to 5 year plan to stay relevant, and maintain engagement?
So, crypto moves so fast, right? I mean, innovation and relevance are everything, along with volume and sustainability. I would say right now, my focus is more on the near fight over the next 24 months, but undoubtedly, we're also looking at future battlefields, and we're trying to shape that long-term fight as well. But I think 3 to 5 years is probably a little bit further than I'm looking. I'm more looking inward with blinders on for the next 24 months because we're in the developmental stage of so many things. But to answer this question the best way I can, innovation is everything. Forward thinking is everything. Initiative is everything. And going back to my previous point, building bridges and relationships is everything. And I know undoubtedly, if we are able to execute on these pillars, on these points, on these fundamental platforms that we're running from, it's not going to be an issue.
Awesome. What level of interaction can the community expect from the core team?
You can expect unrivaled, unparalleled level of interaction. I mean, we did the Twitter space on Thursday. We're doing this AMA, and I want to tell you all something. Sometimes projects launch and they do AMAs and it kind of dies out after a while. That will not be the case with us. If our community wants a weekly AMA, you will get a weekly AMA. Remember, my pledge to you is that I am accountable to you. What you need is what we want to provide. On top of that, I have maintained in a number of my videos, and I'll express it right now. I have said that my DMs are open to all of you. And I also said that I would try to answer everybody's questions or inquiries within 24 hours. And I think I've met that mark. Maybe one or two have slipped through the cracks, but just think about that for a moment. I'm the COO of Reflex Finance, and every single everyday investor is welcome to message me, talk to me, communicate with me, ask questions. And if I don't know the answer to your question, I will redirect you to someone who does, and that has happened, frankly. Um, the level of interaction you could expect from us at Reflex Finance is without rival. And I want to take a moment and again acknowledge our CEO, because this is the type of command climate and this is the type of culture he has set. Um, Again, so Nick, thank you to you for allowing us to operate the way that we envision. And this has been special so far, and I know it's only going to get better.
Definitely. And I know you touched on Twitter Spaces. We are going to continue those, and we may even start running those twice a day so we can um, cover multiple time zones. So you will definitely see a lot from the community and from management on, engagement spaces, Discord, Telegram, those types of things.
Can I add one more point to this, please?
Yeah.
So this community, right? This is what it's supposed to be all about. Just yesterday evening, we had a member on Twitter email me a suggestion, and I forwarded to our core team members, and I said, I think this is a great idea. Let's do it, and everybody agreed. I cannot begin to express how many different things we are implementing, different suggestions are being implemented from random token holders or potential token holders, right? So if you have a good idea, it could be a great idea. Please share it with us. We are all a team. We are all legionnaires. A rising tide lifts all ships, and I have no doubt some of the greatest and most profound, forward-thinking utilities to come from this project are going to come from the community themselves. So please, you are the best part of Reflex Finance. Keep the great ideas and keep the innovation flowing.
For sure, definitely. What problems in the crypto space do you think Reflex can help solve and make better?
Okay, this is a tough one. First and foremost, my vision goes back to building bridges and relationships. I mean, community is everything. I'll be honest. I want Reflex Legion to grow bigger and stronger than any of these other armies, let's say. But we do know that FUD is a real thing, right? And I will never acknowledge to it. I'll never address it, and I'm never going to cater to it. But why? Because from the day I came to this project, I've been very direct and open with the community, and weekly engagement from day one to in perpetuity is something that we're going to continue. Once we launch, we're going to be offering continued utility, continued significant news, continued things that are going to propel this project. And going back to your original question, I think FUD and the negativity in the crypto community is a real issue, and it's a problem. And so people can say whatever they want. They can have their thoughts. They can have their assumptions. But if you're paying close attention and you're looking at the trajectory that we're headed on, coupled with what's to come after launch, it's nonstop positivity. It's nonstop utility. And again, why am I here? Why are all of you here? I'm here for my family. I'm here for my children. I'm here for my children's children. And my personal goal is to have Reflex Legion do our part to make the crypto space a more positive and friendly space. Now, I can tell you, I support a number of tokens. I support SafeMoon. I'm a believer. I support EGC. I'm a believer. Rematic. I'm a believer. It's okay to be diverse. It's okay to invest in multiple projects that will make your family's lives better. I think there's a portion of investors that are being a bit misguided, and you don't need to have undying loyalty to a single project or token. My advice is to always do what's in the best interest of you and your family. And I just want to continue to beat the drum that a rising tide lifts all ships.
For sure. Is there an anti-whale feature?
Yes. So it's a 0.2% of the total supply for selling.
Okay. Are there any special prototypes or upcoming Reflex updates that you want to share with us?
Okay. I can't get into that too much, but again, there's a reason why. And again, it goes back to ensure continued growth and sustainability. Let's just say within the first couple weeks, there's going to be some very exciting updates. And going back to the staking piece, just as an example, I've been very clear with everybody, and I'm going to say it again. We're ready to stake. We're ready to stake day one, but we're not going to stake day one because it's not the most opportune moment. I have assured everybody that we will commence staking within the first 2 weeks. It could be day 12, it could be day 4, but we will do it at the most opportune moment. And so, to going back to your original question, is there any special prototypes or upcoming Reflex updates I can share? Not at this time. Things will be released in a very thoughtful and deliberate manner.
Okay. And we have some more questions on staking coming in a minute. How is Reflex capitalizing on key trends in the crypto alt space?
I mean, to date, passive income tokens are undeniably the best thing that's happened to a lot of people. And I think that was kind of what our CEO talked about when he saw how the tokenomics in certain projects are able to really shape and impact people's lives. I mean, we're in an era right now. And to Cryptfu's point, we all believe that cryptocurrency and specifically our project among other projects are going to be the largest transfer of generational wealth in recorded history. So I think all of our listeners have a pretty good idea and understanding of how we're trying to capitalize on the key trends. But please remember, you can have a great contract, you can have a great launch, you can have a great team, but it doesn't matter if you don't have the right tools to sustain. And that is what I'm pledging to everybody is going to be our greatest asset. No, I take that back. Our greatest asset is our team members and our community. But what is going to be able to make us to continue to sustain is the utilities.
Okay. So, like I mentioned, I saved a few of these last questions and grouped them together because they are all on staking. The level of excitement that we have received about staking is unreal. So let's dive into these questions. They're a little rapid fire, and then we can go into the live Q&A. The first question is, will we receive BUSD rewards while staking?
Yes, absolutely. The tokens will be frozen in your account while staking. This means you can't trade the tokens unless you on stake or the staking period is over, right? But this also means that you'll still receive BUSD rewards just like holding normally. So pretty significant.
Okay. When I stake any amount of Reflex tokens, how often do I receive my APR rewards?
You'll receive rewards and Reflex tokens at the end of the duration, whatever that duration might be, whatever you chose. There will be a number of options to choose from. But also, you're going to increase your Reflex bag size, which will increase your volume rewards.
Okay. If I don't unstake my tokens, do I continue to receive rewards?
Excuse me, I was taking a drink of water. No, you will only receive APR rewards during the period of time in which you choose.
Okay. Is my APR locked?
Your APR is locked. Yes, decreases or increases will not affect you.
All right. Can I unstake at any time?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can unstake at any time. However, as I'm sure is expected, there's going to be a 10% penalty on all tokens unstaked and a loss in APR rewards. So if you can, fulfill your obligation for the staking period, it's obviously in your best interest.
Okay. Can I stake different amounts of Reflex tokens for different durations?
Absolutely. Each stake has its own smart contract.
Okay. And the final question is there any way to track what we have staked and how much time we have left?
Yeah, of course. There will be an easy to read staking dashboard to track all APR rewards and the duration left.
Okay, awesome. All right, so at this point in time, we are going to take a few questions from the community. If you have a question, please raise your hand and I will pull you up.
Hey, Rabbit.
Speak. Yes, sir.
Hey, Rabbit. Could I add something real quick to the staking?
Yeah.
I wanted to make it clear too that the staking APR rewards is in Reflex tokens. So, we talk about volume rewards being in BUSD, which you will continue to receive while you're staking. But I'm sorry, while you are staking, but the actual APR will be in Reflex tokens. So it'll be up to you on how you want to either increase your bag size or B, sell that and make that into BUSD, but it would be on the holders themselves.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Krifu.
All right, let me. Meme Force official, if you will unmute yourself, you can ask the first question. You have to take yourself off mute.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for the opportunity given to me to ask my question. Okay. Now, a lot of projects on BSC space after few days of launch, people get to dump the project, and there will be no more investor for a long period of time. Some eventually fold up. So my question is, what is the long-term plan for this project that is able to withstand the strength of time? I'm still looking for that token that will be like BTC, that when I buy, in the next 10 years, I hold and I make money out of it. I'm still looking for such projects in the BSC space, and it's very difficult to find. So, what are the modalities that have been put in place that even after the pre-sale, the launch, we'll still get um, people still coming into the project? Like some projects are the highest that you can get, you see 1,200 holders, only 2,000 holders, 3,000 holders, and that is all for a long period of time. So what are the things that you have put in place that will invite new investors on daily basis?
Miles or Crypto, do one of you want to answer that?
The question in 10 words or less, please.
So he wants to know how we are going to keep people engaged on the long term, and that we keep accruing, more people coming back into the project. Yes.
Okay, so sir, thank you very much for your question. And your question is arguably the most important question. This goes back to my points about sustainability. Now, remember one thing: we are still a pre-launch token, and so we have to be careful and deliberate with the things that we announce and the things we put out before we are listed. Because again, it doesn't give us the value. The value will come after we're listed. So my pledge to you and my pledge to all of our holders is the way we maintain our relevance as a project is by having significant utilities. In my opinion, for a cryptocurrency to be viable, it has to, number one, have a purpose, and or number two, solve a problem. And these are two things that we plan on capitalizing off of both rather quickly, I'll just say. So the entire platform from which I'm campaigning here, so to speak, is that we have viable utilities planned and lined up that we haven't articulated yet, that is going to make the viability and the sustained success of this project undeniable.
Okay, that is good. I've been following the project for a while now, and I love the project, and I'm already sharing in my own group too on WhatsApp. So I pray this go well. I'm all in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
First
And again,
for the opportunity to get a whitelist spot too.
I don't know. I think we're about out of those. I'll defer to Miss Rabbit, but thank you again for your question. And please, you have my message. You have my information on Telegram. If you ever have any questions for me directly, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. I'm here to serve the community.
All right, I'm bringing Jose up. Jose, you may need to unmute your mic. You should be able to speak.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much for bringing me up. My, not question, but more of a comment or like hoping what could happen is kind of what the last guy said, but I know projects live and die, in my opinion, live and die on YouTube. Um, Scripted Legends is kind of the one who brought me onto this project. Uh, I know you guys did a paid promotion with him. Um, I also know people like Crypto Dreams is somebody who is key to the community of like Safe Moon. And in my opinion, I am a Safe Moon holder, but I think that project should have died like 6 months ago. But unfortunately, because of the community and the YouTubers, the 20 some plus YouTubers really kept that project alive. And I think marketing should be really strong with YouTube, or at least onboard more YouTubers, or give them insights to our project to say, hey, talk about this, or give them something, because there's other projects out there that seem really interesting right now, but there's no YouTubers talking about them because they're so secretive up to a certain degree, or they're not giving us content to talk about. It's kind of like, what are you gonna say? The price is up, the price is down.
That's a very fair comment and a very fair point. I'll go back to my previous statement that we're still pre-launch. Now, when you talk about hiring YouTubers or media outlets or journalists, right? Like, yes, that's a part of marketing, and that's a part of any successful business model. And you're 100% right. I don't disagree with you. But what I will say is, again, having a real purpose, solving a real problem. Once we announce the things that we're going to announce, and once we bring forth the things that we're going to bring forth, the coverage and the following will be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, I think he hopped down. We have. I hope that answered your question, Jose.
Jose, DM me, brother, if it didn't answer your question, and
Yes.
I'll happy to talk to you further.
Okay, let's see. Mac, I'm bringing you up. As soon as you're up, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you for bringing me on here. First of all, I want to say I really love the token. I've been following it for a while, and I really can see a lot of potential with this. But I do have a little bit of a concern of the selling point of the BUSD. Another token that I know we're all aware of, that was one of their biggest selling points, was the 8% BUSD rewards. But somewhere along the lines, something happened. There was a vote, and that was pretty much essentially removed from the community holders. So how can we be certain that if the selling point of this one will stay, or could it be changed somewhere down the line? Thank you.
I'll answer this one. Here's what I can tell you, that that is not something that's acceptable, and that's not something that we would do. I personally would not allow that, and I personally would not tolerate that, unless it was something that would benefit the community to a better degree or a higher degree. So, to my point, phase one is 8% BUSD. The only way that changes, sir, is when we implement to phase two and we go to 10% BUSD. It is unethical, and it's unethical, and it's not okay to have people. You know, I'm a military service member. I don't have a lot of money, and going back to one of the questions, what does the everyday investor look like? I think most of them kind of look like me. People are putting their trust, their confidence, and their money, their savings into this project, and I will not even. I get your question, and I'm sorry that that's even a concern. I want to obviously project as much confidence and transparency as possible, but that is something that will never change. You have my word. That's all I can give you right now until we deliver more and more and more. But I would not be a part of that project if I thought that the notion of that was even a remote possibility.
Mac, did it answer your question?
Yes, it does. Very much. Thank you. I mean, I just had to think about that because it was just, it was one of the selling points for another token I really believed in. And I personally just didn't like that, what happened. So I feel 100% confident in this token, and I'm all in. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to
Thank you for your question, Mac. Thank you very much. And those are the kind of thought-provoking and challenging questions that something like that, Mac, isn't even on my mind. It wasn't even on my mind, but to know that that's a concern out there for some folks like you in the community, I'm really grateful for you raising it and bringing it to my attention.
All right, I bumped Mac down. I am bringing up Texas SHBK. You can unmute yourself when you're ready.
All right. Good morning, all. First, I want to say Simplify. I being a Marine for 23 years, every time I listen to one of these AMAs, I kind of I either fall in love with this product a little bit more. Most of the time, this one I've been falling in love with, being that I have Marines that are here from 6 Marines. But my question's on NFTs. Ethereum is huge on gas fees. When we talk about an NFT marketplace, are we talking about NFTs through Ethereum or something else?
It will be on the Binance Smart Chain. That is where we're starting it because the fees are greatly reduced on that chain. Now, there is possibilities and opportunities that we may bridge and to others, but right now it is on the Binance Smart Chain.
Now, is that marketplace going to be through, I mean, are we going to have our own, or is that through like OpenSeas or something like that?
Through our own. We're in development on putting that out. You'll definitely hear a little bit more about that here soon. But right now it is our own and on the Binance Smart Chain.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All
no
right.
problem.
I'm going to bump you down. Bring up our next speaker. Let's see. Uh-oh. Crypto Julian, I am going to unmute you and you can come up and ask your question if you unmute yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Crypto Rabbit, for this opportunity. What's up, team? Got 2 questions for you. First of all, nice to see some veterans over here and some people from the Netherlands at the team. So nice to hear. First question, let's kick it off. What about the 14% pre-fill sale? When did that happen? Can you give me some